Please welcome this week's special guest, Edward. Robert, what is Edward to you?
This is Edward, and I had such a crush on him at school that for the past 20 years, his name has been the basis for all of my passwords.
Whoa. Denise, what is Ed to you?
This is Edward, and he helped me pick up my car and move it after I got blocked in by Daley Thompson.
And finally, Lee, what is your relationship with Edward?
This is Edward. I once dressed up as his wife so that his son would think that he'd seen his mum in the audience at the school play.
So, there we have it. Is Edward Robert's childhood crush, Denise's car carrier, or Lee's hoax husband? David's team, where to begin?
Robert. So were you school buddies together?
Not especially because Edward was terribly good at sport, you see. I seem to remember Edward being terribly good at the pole vault.
How are you still in touch with Edward?
We're not. I haven't seen Edward for a number of years.
How is he doing, do you think? Would you still?
Can I just say that as my fake husband, I have.
I'd say he's definitely moved into a new bracket. But a very happy one.
Yeah.
Yes, he's doing very well, I'd say. You know, very, very well indeed.
Now, you said you haven't seen him for a number of years.
No, a number of years.
Specifically, when was the last time you saw him?
The last time I would have seen him would probably be 1993 or 94.
1993 or 4?
But there wasn't the need for passwords until around the year 2000.
Well, yes, but they then came in, and I thought, what would be more marvellous than having Edward as the basis of my passwords?
Is he still the basis of your password?
No comment. What I will say is that I spent a long time when I was bored looking for him on Facebook and that sort of thing. And on one occasion, I found him and messaged him, and there was no reply. And I was very
that's
upset
horrible.
about that. And I always wondered what happened to him. And now I see.
I'm struggling with this because this is a thing that is done. I had a crush on a boy in school, and his name is the basis for my passwords as well. And I've been trying to stalk him on Facebook, but he doesn't exist. He's not on Facebook, which makes him even sexier. But I'm saying this is...
So you've got that exact story?
Very plausible. Yeah, this is my story. His name's Luke Mate. Do you know him?
Yes.
You know
Luke?
No, you
Mate?
don't. Because he was
Yeah,
like...
he lives 2 doors down from me. Single, newly single.
No.
Yeah. He works for Médecins Sans Frontières. He's a human rights lawyer, but works with them. But he takes 6 months of the year off because he runs a place for distressed puppies. He's a good guy. You know what? I literally just set him up with someone last week. That's so annoying. That's a great thing. Great guy. Hell of a guy.
All right, who would you like to...
Very plausible.
Who would you like to quiz next?
Denise, explain what happened with Edward in the car and Daley Thompson.
Yes, so I was parked in the car park at a stadium.
Which stadium?
Birmingham, Alexander Stadium in Birmingham, and...
Which car park? So, like, you had
Just
to...
VIP.
Okay.
It's probably the Denise Lewis car park.
I mean, to be fair, if you own a car in Birmingham, you're automatically a VIP anyway.
Why are you clapping? So I'm in the car park, went off to work, had a big national championships, came back out, desperate to get back down to London, and my car was blocked in.
That was Daley Thompson.
That was Daley Thompson.
Yeah. Well, hang on. How do we know that? Let's take it straight. What happens next?
Well, Eddie, he's an official.
Right.
You know, he used to be an athlete. You can see he's well stacked.
What was his sport?
He was actually a thrower.
Of what?
Discus.
Sorry,
Discus.
are you actually... You're a BBC commentator and you called him a thrower.
A thrower. So he's a thrower of the incredibly heavy frisbee.
Yeah, he used to compete national level.
OK.
Didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Didn't quite make it. It's not easy to get to the top.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
That's such a show-off thing to do.
I'm sorry. I'm just
actually
saying.
really, really hard to be an amazingly good athlete. Some people can do it, some people can't do it. Eddie, I'm sorry.
So there you are, Denise. You're blocked in. Edward is there because he's an official. He used to throw things. When does Daly come into it?
Well, his has a private registration plate, and I didn't notice
He's one
that.
of those people,
Yes.
Daly... What does it say?
DT10.
DT10, of course.
DT10.
Of course.
Clever.
I said to Eddie, I need to get out of here quickly.
Yes.
Can you help?
Yes.
He said, let me go and get some of these other throwers. They said, listen, if we manoeuvre this car, swing the back out a little bit, you should be able to manoeuvre around Daly's car.
So you never met... I'm sure you have met Daley Thompson, but he never turned up during the anecdote.
Couldn't find him anywhere. But it's only when I came back to the car did I realise it was his car because of the number plate.
But you were looking for him before that? The person I need to talk to now is Daley Thompson, because if there's someone who understands a parking crisis, it's him.
Can I just check if you two met? Because you need a really good defence lawyer.
No, I do. Can I continue?
Yes, please do.
So Eddie came to my aid
Yeah,
and helped me manoeuvre the car,
yeah.
and away I went.
Away you went, and Daley Thompson turned up presumably later.
I don't know, because I didn't see him.
You didn't see him.
Have you
but
seen him since?
Yeah.
Yes.
And have you mentioned this story to him?
Yes.
And, OK, that checks out.
What
That's
did he
what
say?
you can do. Yeah, that's
What did he say?
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
He said, "Oh, shut
Yeah.
up."
Listen, I've known Daley a long time. One of the first things he said to me at the age of 14...
Yeah.
He called me...
Look after this bear.
All right, now, of course, perhaps the most plausible of all is yet to... Just remind us, Lee.
This is Edward. I once dressed as his wife, so his son would think he'd seen his mum
Right.
whilst performing in the school play.
What was the play?
It was actually a nativity play.
OK. And what was Edward's son playing?
Edward's son was playing Joseph.
Were
That's
your
what's up.
children in the play?
My children were not in the play. It would have been inappropriate due to the fact that they don't go to that school.
So you went to a school where your children are not enrolled, dressed as a woman,
Well, correct.
to trick a little boy into thinking you were his mum.
Yeah. When you say it like that, it does sound a bit dodgy.
Let's go back, Lee. Let's go back to the beginning. How did this come about? How did Edward approach you?
So Edward was at the school, and apparently he got a phone call off his wife saying that she couldn't make it. Now his wife had already missed 3 or 4 big events, you know, all the big ones that are important, like the sports days and the various things. And this was sort of like, I promise you, I'm going to be there. I promise you, I'll do this one. So
Why wasn't she there?
well, something to do with work. Something got.
What's her work?
I didn't get a chance to get into too many details. Edward rang in a panic. Absolutely panicking he was.
What's her job?
What's the wife's job?
Yes.
I actually don't know his wife very well.
But,
Do you know him?
Well, but
I know Edward, yeah.
You're the first person he'd call, though, but you don't know his...
That's right, because me
Okay.
and him do lots of things behind his wife's back, and he knows that.
So he rang you up,
Yeah.
and what did he say?
He was panicking. They went, Lee! I went, what? He said, she's not turned up again. I said, who? He said, my wife. I said, what does she do for a living? He said, not now. He said, I need your help and I need it quickly.
Yeah.
I said, you know me, I'll always be there for you. He says, I need you to meet me at my house. So I get to the
You get
house,
there.
I run in the house,
Yeah.
and he only had time for one phrase. Put this on. He said, I need you to dress as my wife, because last time I went to see him in a play, she didn't turn up. And I said, but you saw me, right? And he said, the kid said, no, I didn't see you, because the spotlights are so bright. Everyone's just like a silhouette. So, he said, that's how I think you can get away with this. I want you to dress as my wife, and then when he looks out, he'll think that you're with me.
Did he notice your beard?
Now, this is the thing. I said that. Now, as luck would have it, I don't know what his wife does, but she has a beard. I know she works in a circus. I don't know exactly what she does. And
was very well dodged, Lee, I must say.
No, she at the time I did not have a beard.
Oh, you were clean-shaven.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is why he was annoyed, because, like I say, she does.
Did you?
Does she have a very distinctive silhouette?
She does. I would describe her silhouette as Lee Mack-esque. It's the only way I could describe her.
Did you have to wear a wig
No, I didn't wear a wig, because luckily his wife has very short hair
and a beard?
and a beard.
Where are we? So you just went with your head
Just went with...
shaven,
I just went with her silhouette look. And with a hat, scarf,
But what
pipe.
did you wear? But you haven't told us.
Nice one, Jesus!
You haven't told us what you put on in your friend's bedroom.
He had all the things were about. All
What?
the
He got a range for you to choose from? Pick out something nice that you fancy.
He had it ready for me when I got there. He said, "This is what we could get. This is the stuff that the kid would recognise." So we went with a long Macintosh.
What's Edward's son called?
Edward's son is called Eddie.
That was a bad choice.
Yeah, well, Little Ed.
And then after the play, that lovely bit where the kids excitedly go and meet with their parents again and say, "How was it?"
That was the bit
How
that we
was
were
it,
worried
Mummy and
about.
Daddy?
Well, I had to do. There was only one thing that we could do. I said to him, "You're going to have to totally commit to this." And so we're now married. We adopted him and we ran away, and the wife doesn't know where we are, and this is the first time she would have known about it. No, we stood at the back, and as he walked towards us, I sort of turned around, walked quickly, and sort of waved like that. And he
You
said,
ran away from him?
Yes. What choice did I have? And apparently, Big Ed said to me afterwards, he said, "I just had to say, oh, Mummy's got to get back quickly. She's well, I don't know what she does for a living." He didn't know either.
All right, we need an answer. So, David's team. Is Edward Robert's childhood crush, Denise's car carrier, or Lee's hoax husband?
Well, it's...
Well, I mean, Lee was fairly convincing. Hard to see past that, isn't it?
What do you think?
I feel like when Denise was telling her story, Edward was smiling a little bit more. Look at him. Look at his... See?
Gosh, it's difficult, isn't it? I'm tempted to say Robert.
You think Robert? And
I'm really torn. I would say Denise, but I just don't know, because I was wrong once already.
OK,
Yeah.
time to make a
Shall we say
decision,
Denise?
David. Who's it going to be?
oh, right. So you think it's Denise now? If you two think it's Denise, that's great. I can opt out. If you both think it's Robert, that's great. I can opt out. If you both think it's Lee, I'm overruling you. We'll go Robert.
You're going to say it's Robert. If this does turn out to be true, you do realise we're about to witness quite a moment. So, Edward, would you please reveal your true identity?
I am Edward, and I was Robert's
Whoa!
inspiration for a password.
Would you like to say anything to Edward, Robert?
I could dress up as you and fill in. I'm betrayed.
What would you like to say to him? Here's your chance.
Yes, yeah. Hello, Edward.
Hi.
Well done. You really kept it together.
Edward, did you realise that Robert had this crush on you?
No, not at all.
Oh,
you must have done.
What a lovely evening this is for you, then. Thank you very much, Edward.
Very nice to see you.